President Biden's announcement that he is stepping down comes after weeks of debate on Capitol Hill over not only his future, but how congressional Democrats will perform in November. And now they'll do so with a new presidential ticket at the top. Here now to talk about it is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Thank you, Congressman Leader Jeffries, for being with us tonight. Leader Jeffries, we know that you spoke to the president today. What's your reaction to the news that he's dropping out of the race and endorsing Vice President Harris?
Well, Joe Biden has been one of the most consequential presidents in American history. He rescued the country from a once-in-a-century pandemic, saved the economy from the possibility of recession, and also, of course, was able to preserve our democracy by defeating the former president, the insurrectionist in chief, and someone who wants to turn back the clock on the United States of America. He has put people over politics and patriotism over personal position, and this is another heroic act in a long-running series of heroic acts by Joe Biden on behalf of the American people from the moment he was first elected back in 1972 to the United States Senate.
Now let's turn to Trump, who responded to this afternoon's news by calling Joe Biden our nation's worst president in a phone interview with NBC News. Now, this follows the Trump campaign rally in Michigan last night, where he lobbed insults after insults at Vice President Kamala Harris, presuming that Vice President Harris becomes the Democratic nominee. How do you expect Trump will run against her?
Well, Donald Trump is running scared. House Republicans are running scared. Extreme MAGA Republicans are running scared because the focus right now is going to turn back to Project 2025, which is the Trump plan to end America and our values and our path forward as we know it, to turn back the clock. The focus is going to be on the extreme Supreme Court justices who ripped away reproductive freedom from the women of America. The focus is going to be on Trump and his policies of trying to enact big tax cuts for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected. And we're going to be able to contrast that with our vision of putting people over politics, fighting for lower costs, ending price gouging, defending democracy, standing up for a woman's freedom to make her own reproductive health care decisions, and growing the middle class.
Now, when you talk about the contrast, isn't this really probably the clearest contrast we've had in presidential races in a long time, with all of the rights and all of the things that were fought for at risk, and some already being aborted by this Supreme Court, 3 of which were nominated by Trump? And you couldn't have more of a contrast in characters. I've already said this race will be the prosecutor versus the felon if we were having a boxing match. In Congress, Republicans are holding on to a razor-thin majority in the House. Are you confident that this kind of momentum that the vice president may bring to the race now, that Democrats are on track to win back the chamber, which would make you the speaker? What are you hearing from members? I know you are probably going to be meeting and having Zoom calls with them, but what are you hearing, and are you hearing anything from voters? You and I were just at a church in Brooklyn a couple hours ago, and it seemed like it was enthusiasm there. What are you hearing, Mr. Leader?
Members are very excited. Voters on the ground are very excited. The party is very excited. We want to continue to lift up President Joe Biden and all of his incredible accomplishments. And as he's made the decision to pass the torch, plot the path forward to make sure that we win the presidency, hold the Senate, and certainly take back control of the United States House of Representatives. Everything that we care about is on the line. If Roe v. Wade can fall, then anything can fall. Social Security can fall, Medicare can fall, the Affordable Care Act can fall, the progress that we've made on the climate crisis can fall, gun safety reform can fall. Democracy itself, as we know it, can fall. So everything we care about is on the line, and you're going to see an intensity and an energy and a capacity unleashed by the American people to make sure that this goes the right way in November.
Are you confident about the Democrats' ability to unify after a nominee is in place so close to the election?
I am. I think that we will do what's necessary over the next few weeks to prepare for the convention. It'll be an exciting convention in Chicago. We'll put on full display our agenda for the American people and do what is necessary in order to leave that convention unified, get the job done, work as hard as we can, day after day, week after week, month after month, and be successful on November 5th.